Hello everybody, I'm going to do a video on my controller mod that I've done and you have to overlook the mess I've not cleaned up from doing the mod. But this mod is 3 miles plus for Spektrum. Now I've done it on this controller because I was uneasy about tearing my good controller apart, which is the DX7S. I've done the 5 dB gain antenna mod to it, but I've not done this mod. And for reasons I'll go over, the DX7S you cannot control from US to Europe. Let me show you with this one. Now this one I can go to power settings and I have it set to the Europe, which outputs 100 milliwatts. That is the perfect amount of drive for the external amplifier. The amplifier mod that I've done is a Sunhands 3-watt amplifier, and it requires 0 to 20 dB drive. Alright, 20 dBm equals to 100 milliwatts, which is the maximum drive that the Sunhands amplifiers can take. And what I did, the DX7S, you can't turn it down off of the US version, which is 200 milliwatts, which will blow the amplifier. So I had to use this one to do the mod on because of the amplifier. I've got a DX6E, but the antennas are different and I didn't want to go into all it. I just, this controller here is my cheapest one, so that's why I did the mod to it. Okay, what I did, pulled the case apart. I should have done the mod, video while I built this, but I didn't know it was going to turn out and work so good. I just took a rubber cap and put over this where the antenna was. Alright, I measured down, let me turn this off. I measured down where my 90-degree angle was going to be, and I had one of these cables like this, and it had a 90 on one end of it. So all I did was couple this to the bottom of here, took that Gorilla 2-sided tape and stuck the amplifier here. Where the 90 went through the case, as you can see, I took a drill bit and drilled through this case to where the cable will go down and on the inside, and this board on the drive amplifier inside this radio, it didn't have one of the little snap-on coax ends that snaps on the board. It was soldered directly to the board on this ORX. So what I had to do was cut off the end and then very carefully separate the shield in the center and solder to the shield in the center back to the board where it was. That is the cable coming through the board right here and going into the input to the radio to drive the amplifier, and then this goes out to the antenna, and I just screw the antenna directly to the amplifier. This I used 2-sided Gorilla tape to attach my battery. This is 4,000 milliampere battery. I can spit it out here in a minute. 4,000 milliampere battery with a switch right here. You just flip on and off, and with the radio on normal, the antenna still works as normal. It actually, I'm getting further range testing with this setup than I was with the stock antenna. Of course, I got the 5 dB gain antenna on it now, but in range test mode, I'm getting approximately 22 feet further with this setup than I was stock. So I was tickled to death right off the bat. Then with the 3-watt booster, when I turn it on, it's just crazy. You can't even range test no more because as small a power that the radio puts out during range test mode, by the time it goes through the amplifier, you can't even go further enough. I've went 200 or 300 feet and I still holding the range test in as lowest drive, is still had solid link and couldn't lose link. So I've tested this out to about 3 miles and a 1/16, something like that, and that is going behind buildings. I kid you not, out to about 3 miles, flying like I do in close to me. I live about 1.5 to 2 miles of where I normally fly. You'll see in some of my videos the tree spot there at the pavement, the church and the old hospital when nobody's around. That is about right at 2 miles from me, and I can sit on my front porch and fly all the way there and fly that spot doing stunts and loops over the trees and go behind the buildings and go behind the old abandoned McDonald's 3 miles away and have solid link. Of course, I lose video link when I drop behind the school, but that's going to be my next project. Relatively simple because on the inside, all you have to do after you cut the end of the coax off, come up about 1/8 of an inch and strip the shield off, then separate the shield from the center, and I mean barely, like I barely left that much coming out of the end of the coax, soldering to the board and into the shield. But hope you guys like the mod, and these Sunhand amplifiers works on push and pull, so you guys that's doing the telemetry and everything, works both ways. The Spektrum fully functions through all this link. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.